Welcome to Free Your Mind Reviews. This is Chris Johnson with a review of The Way Back. The Way Back is the latest film from Gavin O'Connor and stars Ben Affleck as a alcoholic who gets an opportunity to coach his old high school's basketball team. And in the midst of coaching that team, it kind of puts him on a journey of trying to improve his life and try to overcome not just alcoholism but his pain. Now I've seen cliche, and I saw the term cliche being thrown at this, and the story's been done before, blah blah blah. But you know what? It's a real life story, man. It's a real story that a lot of people, men and women, have dealt with in terms of falling to alcoholism to deal with real pain. And of course, in the case of this story, grief over the loss of a loved one, and it has a special extra oomph to it because of Ben Affleck playing the role, and everyone's heard of his struggles the past couple of years: divorce, alcohol, the stress of of what's been going on in his life, and that factor really adds into this film's interpretation of struggle with alcoholism, struggle with family life, struggle with purpose, because Ben is amazing in this film. I've always said I don't like Ben Affleck in larger than life roles, where Hollywood tries to just Hollywood him up and put him in these big giant movies. I'm not sad that he's not Batman anymore. At all. I didn't want him to play Batman in the first place. Because first I knew how it was going to come out. And I didn't and still don't look at that as an insult to him. Because I know what I love seeing Ben Affleck do, and that's playing everyman. He's a guy with movie star looks, but excels at regular Joe roles. Like Good Will Hunting, like The Town, like Gone Girl. And with Gavin, he's taking it further because, yeah, sure, The Accountant was an action movie, quote unquote, and he gets to kick a lot of ass, and he gets to shoot up a lot of people, but he at the same time really got to perform and transform into this highly intelligent special needs person. When you watch that movie, you realize, this character has special needs, and Ben nailed it. Honestly, especially as somebody with a special needs brother, I dug and adored The Accountant. And this movie may be his best performance as Jack Cunningham, as the alcoholic at the end of his rope, basically who's completely content with drinking himself to death because he doesn't it's almost like he not only does he think he doesn't have anything to live for, it's like he feels like he doesn't deserve to have anything to live for. And I love stories like that. I love characters like that. There's a big reason why I loved Uncut Gems so much. Was, that's not alcoholism, that's gambling. It's an addiction, right? But it's an addiction that kind of covers up the real truth, which is I felt like Adam Sandler's character didn't care about life, didn't care about his life, and probably hated himself so much that he used gambling and he used other people to basically do suicide by them, in a way. Self-destruction is such an interesting character trait that I think a lot of people are afraid or to examine, and afraid to even give it a shot with their movies, and it's just something that I find very, very interesting. When someone keeps doing something that he knows or she knows is gonna kill them, but they want that outcome. They don't want to live with this pain anymore. It's not even just drowning the sorrows, it's drowning yourself and knowing you're drowning yourself. And to see that under O'Connor's eyes, who I've been a fan of for a while. I've been a fan of since I saw Miracle. Didn't even realize it was him. And when I saw like Pride and Glory, which I think is an underrated cop drama, by the way, Gavin does really well for me in terms of doing gritty drama with just normal people. And you may have seen these type of stories before, but for him, they feel so real all the time. Whether it's Pride and Glory or Miracle or Warrior, which is probably my favorite of his, and even something like The Accountant. And now it's this, the way the characters relate to each other, the way the actors feel so real, the way the film is shot. I love the way this movie is shot. I love the darker, kind of almost natural looking aspect of the cinematography. I love that he went back to his more like slightly handheld but not overdoing it style from Warrior when it comes to the camera work. I and it's amazing to me that the movie's only an hour and 48 because I feel like it expressed itself so much with what it needed to do and what the alcoholism affects, how it affects Jack, how Jack in turn affects these kids because he's almost like the shot in the arm and the kick in the ass that these kids need at that point in their lives. Sometimes being all goody goody nicey nicey, and especially in this like religious church, religious school, sometimes that's not good enough for people. Sometimes that's not good enough. You have to be a shot in the arm sometimes for people. And it was so interesting for Jack to push these kids and to push them to know their own self-worth while at the same time not seeing any self-worth for himself. And everyone around him in his family notices, wants to help, doesn't know how because in the end he has to take this next step. And I feel like these stories and these themes, these are real life stories, real life themes, and they're masterfully, in my opinion, anchored by both Gavin O'Connor's directing and Ben Affleck in the lead role. And I really hope, these two keep making movies together, because they are great together. They are absolutely great together, and I recommend The Way Back. Really do. I love real life stories like this. I love down to earth. These are type of themes that you can understand, that you see, that you live with type of films. This is definitely a type of movie that I would like to make. And also, I just adore movies that are not sports movies, really. This is not really a sports movie. It uses sports to enhance its themes on character. And the best quote unquote sports movies do that. And I definitely recommend The Way Back.